What's up, everybody? I'm Turtle Toes, and we're about to give you a little bit of video commentary of Painkiller Remastered. This video took a really long time to make, about like 4 hours of legitimate shooting, and then roughly 3 days of post-production in order for this to be made. Simple wide shot, and obviously right here, I think you all noticed that I didn't have a good focus right here because it was a little bit blurry on Kevin's face right here. And out of nowhere, comes up, and right here. So this is the first gunshot right here. Also, Kevin was admiring his hair whenever it came up like Elvis whenever he started moving out of the way. I wanted to give Kevin a little bit more of, like, you know, lean to the side, cover your ear rather than cover your ear first and then push your head to the side, which is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to give it more of a move to the side, cover your ear so you don't hear the gunshot, doesn't hurt your ears, and then you do your disarm. The disarm here also ended up with a little bit of a weird color tint change right here. I don't know what happened here. It's because, like, I did all the post-production in 2 different programs. I did most of the editing in Sony Vegas, and I did most of the effects in After Effects. Whenever I rendered out After Effects, I don't know why it gave me this weird fadey effect right here. I don't know what happened there. And following the laws of Freddy W, that every gunshot should look big, smoke, environmental interaction. Also gave a little bit of speeding effect because Kevin and Trey were acting a little bit slow, so I had to just do a lot of speeding up and a lot of deleted frames in order for them to actually, you know, look like they're, like, you know, fighting all over the place. Corridor Digital disarm from Nerf John Wick. They didn't pull off too well because I kind of went a little bit too in depth with it. I get why, because I wanted him to hit more of the hand and then have Trey let the momentum go through so the weapon actually flies. Also, that was a really janky airsoft gun, so like I didn't want it to hit anything like too drastic for it to break in the middle of production. Classic ring around from the original Painkiller. As you can see, they're both smiling for some reason. I don't know why I didn't say cut because I didn't see them from the little LCD screen. That elbow from Painkiller, the original. So Trey's gotten pretty old. Like, as you can see, we've all gotten pretty old, actually. Kevin is playing my original. He's playing my recast. In the original, I ran him right around behind the mailbox that he's about to hide behind. Somewhere around here. Like, I grabbed a gun behind there because we wanted to make it a little bit more realistic. Also, one of the main things that everybody's realized is that we kept the regulation orange tip right here is because, you know, we got the cops called on us anyway. So I didn't want to. That's the reason why I kept it on there, so we didn't get the cops called on us. Guess what? We got the cops called on us anyway. I'll blur out the addresses because we don't want anybody to get murdered. That's actually bad. A lot of the sound design was actually done with just simple condensed sound effects because, like, I didn't want to, because I don't have that many sound effects libraries for myself. I made a couple sound effects in this, such as Foley and close rustle, in order to make it seem a little bit more immersive, but, like, it obviously wasn't too noticeable. I've also really exaggerated the sound effects. I mixed together so many of the condensed sound effects and so many other things in order to make it look, you know, relatively good. A lot of the stuff that we went through was, like, deleted frames. So in order to make the hits look a little bit more, you know, hard hitting, because, you know, if somewhere around here, I think, see right about here, from one frame to the other, it will actually look as if, like, you know, he slammed his hand against the mailbox, and obviously if you do that for real life, you'll probably break every single knuckle in your hand. Okay, this is also another thing that not a lot of people noticed. Right here, we had a lot of people walking by for some reason, because everybody was out on a walk at like 2 o'clock on a Monday or a Wednesday. I don't know what day it was when we filmed this. He didn't pick up a gun in the real thing. Like, he picked up nothing. And so I realized that didn't look good. So I literally just took a black solid square and then just kind of like tracked it onto his hand in order to make it look like a gun. It doesn't look good right now, but I'm very sure a lot of people notice this. Because see, it's just so fast, it looks like an actual gun. Also, another one of the weird tinting effects that After Effects gives you whenever you render it. When the gun goes off right about here, boom, gives it a weird orangey kind of test. I don't know what happened here. Also, all the fight choreography was done on the day. Like, I taught them all of the fight choreography on the day of shooting, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do pre-visualization where you teach them all the movements, all of the choreography before shooting. So whenever you get on shooting, you don't know what you're doing, you waste all that time, which I shouldn't have done, but we got it done roughly 4 hours. So, not the choreography, the whole video. A deleted frame in order to make the elbow look a little bit more, you know, hard hitting. Right about here, whenever you see this punch, that punch also see a little bit of speeding up right there. But this punch right here did not work in the original shot, because the original shot, Trey's fist went somewhere around here, and it didn't look good at all. So I also don't have the original footage anymore, so I can't show you exactly what it looked like, but I can show you exactly what I did. I actually cut out his fist added an extra fist, so it looked like he had another hand extending, and painted out like all the extra right here in order to blend in with the roof. So it actually looks like it's colliding with his nose or something. So at least you get a little bit of colliding. It only happens for about a frame, so you don't even see what's happening on. So, and then the Freddy W. This is the Freddy W. Whose gun is it anyway? Move. And then the classic flip from the original. I actually flipped Trey, and then he did that. I was really impressed with that. Also the oh come on from the original. Also, not a lot of people notice this either. As you notice, like from the top of the gun right here, as you can see, the iron sight fell off because it is a really janky airsoft gun. The first shot is already there, but it's not there anymore because it fell off and then we lost it, so we don't know what happened to it. This part, I wanted to give it a little bit more of like a a faster transition from like disarming him and starting to punch him and all that stuff, rather than him waiting, because like that's a lot of the stereotypical movies do. Like they sit there and say any last words before they do anything, so it gives them enough time for the good guy to actually beat them up before they get killed. I don't know what Kevin was doing here, to be honest. Next time I actually do something fight choreography related, I really need to tell the actors to trust that like you're not gonna hit each other. If you hit harder, you need to hit harder. Tell if you're doing any action films like that, and you're teaching fight choreography, trust that like whenever you're teaching them, tell them hit hard, but make sure you don't hit them, obviously. And if you have to duck under them, just trust that you're not going to hit them, and the other person just needs to know when to duck at the right time in order to not get hit. So again, I think Kevin was not trusting himself. So he punches all the way up here, like, you know, he's fist pumping or something like that, and Trey's like head is all the way down here, so he punches all the way up here for some reason. Just to give the drunk fight. Also, I wanted to give it a little bit of a Jackie Chan drunk fighting thing, and surprisingly enough, I told him the stance of drunk fighting, which is literally like something like this, like in order to keep holding the shot glass. And I'm surprised when I went frame through a frame, he's still holding the the drunk fighting cup, and that was really cool. We're gonna have another fight choreography related short, hopefully, out, and it's gonna involve a lot of drunk fighting. I also did the little editing trick where, once again, Trey was punching so high, so I needed to give him a little bit of editing fist to make it look as if he actually would have hit him if Kevin didn't duck. A little more continuity here because I wanted Kevin to be a little bit more like, you know, I should have given Kevin, like, you know, look at the gun, look back at Trey, then look back at the gun, then cut to the shot where he reaches for it, step on his gun. I also did the little editing trick again where, like, his foot actually crosses over his face. And then the mirror's edge disarm. Now, here's a lot of things that not other people notice. Kevin told me this during filming that I didn't pay attention to him. I thought it looked fine, but until I looked at it from the full screen, I did not notice this. The clip actually flies out of the gun, and then it did not look good. So if you can go frame by frame, you can see the clip actually flies out of the gun. So I did a little bit of painting out here. You can still tell it's there, and then I painted out. I did a really bad painting out job there. It's somewhere around here, and it's a little bit darker there, but you can't see it. And the rest of it followed suit with the white. With the whites, and you couldn't really see it there. So the full thing looks like this. Can't see it.
Who are you?
Get lost.
Get lost.
Now, Kevin said that his family, whenever they heard that line, they thought it was really cheesy, and I was just like, it's not that bad, come on. And then, also, one last thing that I did was literally, whenever the clip fell out, we were dumb enough not to put it back in, so I actually just kind of put on a gray solid and covered the bottom of the clip and tracked it there. So it looks like it's still loaded, but it's going so fast that you don't really notice, so you're kind of focused on his face. So you can't really see it, you're focused on his face. Tosses the gun, and the video ends. So if you want any more advice for, like, you know, something action, like, for one, make sure that everybody around you knows that you're working with fake weapons if you are working with fake weapons, so you don't get the cops calling us like we did. Second of all, if you're doing fight choreography and you're punching and hitting and all that stuff, trust that your actors tell the actors to trust each other. Make sure that they don't hit each other for once, so nobody gets hit. Punch harder, just pretend to punch harder so you don't, like, so it looks a little bit real, so the post-production doesn't seem too hard. Blend your sound effects a little bit more, be a little bit creative with it so it doesn't seem so, like, you know, sound effects library like I did. Over-exaggerate them, because, like as Freddy W says, the better your film looks, the more bad sound stands out, so you need to make it look like something good so you don't see all that bad sound. And overall, just have fun with it. You know, just have fun with the actors. But anyway, just trust that if you have to duck, just trust that, like, throw the real punch and just trust the other person that they will duck. So don't worry about it. All right, that's post-production. I'm Turtle Toes, and I love all of you. Now screw off.